Hey, greetings everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. This is the Wealth Building Educator coming back with another video, and I'll make this one very brief. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the whole Dave Ramsey plan when it comes to no credit. And I want to just discuss how detrimental that could be. You know, we followed the Dave Ramsey plan for quite some time. It really helped us to get out of some debt, quite a bit of debt, as a matter of fact, just following his baby steps. And it was definitely a blessing for my family and I. Where we did, have some issues was obviously with the whole notion that you don't need credit to get through life. And that's where I completely disagree with Dave Ramsey or anybody else who, follows the plan to a T. And let me just kind of explain what I'm talking about. Recently, a couple weeks ago, my family and I, we flew up to New York City, and on the shuttle to the car rental location, we ran into a really nice lady. She had 2 children with her, and we helped her get some of her children's things off of the bus going into the Alamo terminal. And I actually held the door for her and allowed her to go before me. So I noticed it was taking quite a long time for her to get checked out by the rental agent. And I think it even got upwards of 35-40 minutes. Finally, they called another agent to check me out. So, I waited in line behind this lady for quite some time, and then finally they called someone else to take care of me. I went up there, gave the guy my credit card, gave my information, and I was in and out probably in about 5 minutes max. Well, while I was waiting to get checked out, and while I was, getting checked out, I talked to the lady who I had previously had a discussion with on the bus, and I just asked her, I said, hey, are you on the Dave Ramsey plan? She said, we don't do that. And I was like, that's interesting. And I thought about the whole situation, how, had she had a credit card and, just giving the credit card to the agent, she would have been in and out in a few minutes. It wouldn't have been such a hassle to get checked out. And in addition, at the same time, I noticed that she hadn't had none of her debit cards, none of her bills or anything was in her name. Because I even mentioned to her and the rental agent, I said, well, is there any way, do you have a bill in your email or something? Because the lady literally was there for going on an hour, and the agent was trying to be as helpful as he possibly could. And it got to the point where he felt sorry for her. It was close to midnight. And finally he said, please, do you have a bill or something? She said, no. And I said, well, check your email. You might have a bill in there, because that's where I get my bills. And then she said, well, they're all in my husband's name. So she had all the debit cards in her husband's name, all the bills in her husband's name. And she was left, she could have been left stranded. So I guess that's a story for another day. But I just completely disagree with the whole notion that you can't have a credit card. I think life is a lot more difficult. Even if you just get a credit card and charge a piece of gum or a pack of gum or a big gulp, just charge one thing a month. And if you don't think you have the discipline to not spend like crazy on it, just put it in your freezer, put in a block of ice and just freeze it until you need it again. But just use it a couple times a month, pay it off right away, and put it up. If you can do that with 3 or 4 cards, then you'll have some kind of credit score. And don't believe the notion that you have to go deep into debt to get a good credit score, because that's completely false. I know people that have like over 825 credit scores and they have not a dime of debt. So you just need to be able to be strategic and play it smart. And just to kind of piggyback on this, I saw another post on Facebook. One of the financial groups I'm in was a Dave Ramsey group, and a young lady was begging for help on how to get out of a toxic situation that she's in, as far as the place she's staying. She needs to get out, but she doesn't have a credit score. She's noticing that everybody who is running her applications wants a credit score, whether it's not a minimum of a 625 or it's a minimum of 650. They want a credit score. And I can verify, as a realtor, I have clients who have come to me to to lease homes, and they always want a credit score. And without fail, like I haven't been able to find a landlord who says, oh, forget about a credit score, we're just gonna go ahead and lease you the place anyway. So my steps basically are to get you 3 or 4 credit cards, buy things that you would purchase anyway, like gas. You know, you probably fill up your tank at least 3 or 4 times a month. So one week fill up with one card, the next week fill up with another card, and so forth. Or you can charge a pack of gum or something, and then at that point, you know, put it up to the next month and do like a spreadsheet or some kind of rotation, pay it off every month. Credit cards don't equal debt. You have to have the discipline to just use it a couple times. What you don't want to do is to be put in these unnecessary situations where you are stranded, or you're in a situation where you can't move forward because you don't have a credit card. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. I could definitely understand the premise, because you can't go into credit card debt if you don't have credit cards. But at the same time, you cannot progress without having credit scores in a society that, you know, sad to say. And we just got to play the game that we have to play the game the way the game has been created. We just have to go along and do it responsibly. You know, do it responsibly. I literally probably have 50 or 60 credit cards and no balances on any one of them, and I get my points. But I'm not going out there purposely trying to get points on things that I wouldn't have bought anyway. So just be smart, go out there, and, you know, if you have any questions, shoot me an email at thewealthyeducator@gmail.com. I'm always happy to help. I get questions all the time, and I'm pretty much an open book when it comes to these things. But hey, I appreciate you all. One more time, just credit cards do not equal debt. Credit cards do not equal debt. Credit cards do not equal debt. If you have an issue with credit cards, if you don't think that you can control yourself with credit cards, but you also understand that you need to have credit scores to navigate through life, at that point you need to develop some kind of plan where you get this credit card, use it 1 or 2 times a month, and put it up and be done with it. Okay? But if you need some more strategies, shoot me an email, and I'll be more than happy to help. Once again, this is the Wealth Building Educator, and I hope that you all are building your way to wealth each and every day. Take care.